Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Marvin. If today is your first time of stopping by or seeing my face, you are definitely welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, big ups to you as well. So I'm an international student living in Canada. I basically talk about my journey to come to Canada and basically lifestyle in Canada and my experiences here as an international student. So don't go by without subscribing. Just hit the red button down here below to support my channel, and I promise to bring you more interesting content that will be of great help to you out there. So today I'm here to talk about how much money I spent coming to Canada as an international student. If you want to know, stick and stay. So first of all, let me put this out there that I am not an immigration consultant. I'm just an international student who shares his experiences coming to Canada. So you can take anything I say with a pinch of salt and do your own research. It could be that you might even spend either less or more money than I spent coming to Canada. So it varies from person to person. So yeah, I'm just here to share my experiences and how much I spent coming to Canada as an international student. Now, coming to Canada as an international student, I tell you, it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. You need a lot of moolah to come to Canada as an international student. And I mean, apart from the fact that you come and pay school fees, before you even leave your home country, and my home country was Ghana, so before I left Ghana, I spent quite an amount of money. Yeah, I spent quite an amount of money, and I've listed everything down here. Everything I paid for, the amount, whether it was in Canadian dollars, whether it was in US dollars, and I converted everything into cedis. And you know, I started applying way back in 2021. So I used the rates at the time, right? The exchange rates at the time. Because right now, trust me, the exchange rates have ballooned. Because back then when I started, Canadian dollar was like 4.95 cedis to like Ghana cedis. But right now it's around like 8 cedis, 9 cedis, you know. But I think now it's dropping, but it still can't be compared to like back when I was applying, you know, to come to Canada. So I'll use like the rates as at the time I was applying. So I mean, it might be more expensive now. Yeah. So coming to Canada, the first thing I did was to write IELTS, right? So I already had my passport. And it wasn't going to expire soon, so there was no need for me to pay for a new passport. So the first thing I did was to write IELTS, and with the IELTS I wrote it with the British Council. The figure or the fee always changes. I think it changes like quarterly. Right now it should be in like the 2000s if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, back in 2021, I think I wrote it on July 27th. Yeah, I think July 27th. And I paid 1,650 Ghana cedis for the IELTS test back in July 2021. And the next thing I did was to apply to schools, right? And each school has an application fee you pay, you know, to be able to apply to like the program of choice. So the first school I applied to was Memorial University, and the application fee was 120 Canadian dollars. 120 Canadian dollars. And back then, the exchange rate was 4.8. So $1 Canadian was 4.8 Ghana cedis, right? So converting it, it was 576 Ghana cedis back in 2021. 576 Ghana cedis. And then I also applied to University of Calgary. I paid 145 Canadian dollars, multiplying it by 4.8. I had 696 Ghana cedis. So that's what was deducted from my account after using my Visa card to pay. I also applied to Ottawa University. The application fee was 110 Canadian dollars. Multiplying that by the exchange rates, I paid 528 Ghana cedis. The last school I applied to was Texas State University in US, and I paid 90 US dollars. And at the time, the US dollar was 6 cedis. Yeah. So I paid 540 Ghana cedis. So just for school applications, look at how much I spent. More than 2,000 Ghana cedis. I paid for transcripts. The schools normally ask for your transcripts. And because I knew I was applying to multiple schools, I ordered for 5 transcripts from my school. And my school is in the western region of Ghana. So I had to contact somebody to get me to put in the application for me so I could get the transcript. I had to tip the person as well. I think one transcript was 30 cedis, but in the end I paid 200 Ghana cedis, for the whole facilitation thing. So yeah, I paid 200 Ghana cedis for the transcripts. This is not even including the transportation, right? The delivery from Takwa in the western region to Accra. This is just me processing my transcripts. So they were signed and sealed, and then the registrar signed his signature at on top of the seal of a brown envelope, because I just didn't want to be caught up if or should in case like any of the schools request for a signed and sealed transcript. So yeah, I did that, and I spent 375 cedis on DHL delivery, because I think University of Calgary asked me to mail them my transcripts, a sealed transcript, right? So I used DHL and I paid 375 cedis. So after I got my admission feedbacks from all the schools and I settled on Memorial University, I was asked to pay a tuition deposit, right, of 2,000 Canadian dollars. And at the time, the conversion rate was 5.4. So mind you, from October, it was like 4.8. By February of 2022, it was 5.4. Look at the jump. And I remember clearly, I checked when I got my admission back in December. I checked the conversion rate for 2,000 Canadian dollars, and I was supposed to pay around 9,600. But when I finally ended up paying in February of 2022, I paid a whooping 10,800 Ghana cedis. 10,800 Ghana cedis. So the next thing I paid for was a police report. I think it's normally 50 cedis, but I had a link, and I got it like in one day, right? So I paid 100 cedis, just to tip the person. I paid 100 cedis for the police reports. I took a digital photo, because normally when you're applying for the Canadian study permit, you are asked to take they have dimensions, right? For the digital photo you will be uploading onto the portal. So I paid 70 cedis. I think I did that around Osu. So I paid 70 cedis for that. And when I was applying for the study permit, I paid an application fee with biometrics included, right, of 235 Canadian dollars. 235 Canadian dollars. So now I paid my study permit application fee in April, because I applied on April 13th of 2022. Now the exchange rate was 5.8. So just from February to April, it had jumped from 5.4 to 5.8. So in Ghana cedis, I was charged 1,363 Ghana cedis. 1,363 Ghana cedis. And when my passport was ready, I think because of COVID, they put in, a way that when your submission of, when they request for your passport, you use DHL or like a courier service, to deliver your passport to them and also return it back to you after it has been stamped. So I used DHL to do my passport, pickup, and I paid 120 Ghana cedis. So when everything was set and I got my passport, I had to secure like a place to stay, accommodation. And I'll also talk about, maybe in the subsequent videos, I'll talk about, rent in Canada as well. So I had a friend who was here and helped me like secure a place. So I had to pay a down payment, to secure the accommodation. So I paid 250 Canadian dollars, and as at August 2022, the exchange rate was 7.1. So one Canadian dollar was 7.1 Ghana cedis. Crazy. So converting it into Ghana cedis, I was charged 1,775 Ghana cedis as down payment for my rent here in Canada before I left Ghana, because I had to secure it. So the last thing I paid for was my plane ticket. And the plane ticket, I bought the plane ticket, I booked it, I think 7th August, right? Because school was reopening 7th September, and I didn't want to come after school had reopened. So I just wanted to be like on time, right? So I didn't miss any classes, because as a student, I don't like missing classes. Even if I go there tired, it's better for me to be in class or present, than not to go at all. So that's me. So my plane ticket cost me 2,158 US dollars. 2,158 US dollars. So converting this into Ghana cedis at the time was 20,551 Ghana cedis. 20,551 Ghana cedis. So in total, the amount of money I spent before leaving the shores of Ghana was 39,344 Ghana cedis. Almost 40,000 Ghana cedis, guys. Almost 40,000 Ghana cedis. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap at all. And mind you, whilst you are living, you should, after spending all this money, you should also have money to pay your tuition fees, your accommodation, when you come in. So it's not cheap coming to Canada. It's not cheap coming to Canada at all. But I mean, this shouldn't be like a discouraging factor for you. You can always plan and prepare properly and see what God will do for you. So guys, thank you very much for sticking with me throughout this video. This brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, guys. Support my channel for more interesting content. See you soon. Bye.